Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing great. If you are new here, hi, my name is Dana. I'm really glad that you're here today. I'm a homeschooling mama of a first grader, a kindergartner, an almost 2-year-old, and I have baby number 4 on the way, due hopefully here in the next couple of weeks. As you can tell from the title down below, I'm going to be sharing with you my kindergartner's favorites. She has a couple of things that she's just really gravitated towards so far as we've been heading into the summer months. These are the activities and books that she loves doing on the days that it's just like way too hot to actually be outside, especially in like the late afternoon when it's 95 plus degrees and they're just not wanting to really be outside. These are the things that she just loves doing and the things that, like I said, she just gravitates towards. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So I thought I would start off today's video by sharing with you her favorite games. The first one is Tumble Tree. It is what it is. It's literally a little card game where you divide the cards up evenly amongst all the players. So if our whole family is playing, we divide up all of the trees amongst like the full 4 people that can actually play a game, right? And then you put the little top of the tree back on the tin, and depending on what card that you draw when it is your turn, so for example, the slithery snake, you have to like slither it onto the top of the tree. And then for example, the bird, you have to like make it fly on top of the tree in hopes it doesn't fall off. And then little flower you can put wherever you want on the tree. But essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be covering the whole top of the tree. And as you can tell, the actual perimeter is going to get wider and wider and wider. So you're going to see how big it can get without knocking any of the actual parts of the tree off, hence the word Tumble Tree. It's such a fun game. My little ones love playing it, and my husband and I do too. It's really entertaining to watch the kiddos try to carefully place the little cards in the tree in hopes that it not fall down. So it's like a fun twist to pick-up sticks if you've ever played that before. Whereas then if a piece does move or fall off in this case, and you have to take it off. So it's really cute game. The second game that she loves playing, and she likes this when she is wanting to have just her special alone time, or if she wants some quiet time, or if she wants to wind down before bed. She honestly likes playing this by herself. She likes playing with other people as well, but for some reason she gravitates towards this when she's just really sleepy and wants to just relax for a little bit. And I have shared this many times on my channel before, but this is Who's Hiding in the Jungle. If you are familiar with the Spot It games, this is the exact same thing as Spot It, only you're taking 2 cards, mostly nature related, and you're going to spot the difference. You're going to spot this, you're going to not spot the difference, I'm sorry. You're going to spot the same thing between the 2 cards. So between every 2 cards, you will always have a common denominator. You have the landscape and then the animal card. And then whoever finds the first set, or whoever finds the matching set, of course gets to keep the card and has the winning point. But this is a ton of fun for our family as well, because it can be really fun yet competitive, yet just like relaxed, if that makes sense at all. But I just highly recommend this, especially if you do like those I Spy or Spot It type games. Another really fun activity, or I should say game, that she really likes is Mr. Pencil Scribble and Write. This is by Leapfrog. She loves this, and I actually really like it too. I don't have very many electronic games in our house, but I love this one. I love it. It starts out very simple and basic, where they can trace just the basic simple shapes, but it also can go into more advanced things like spelling words and special blends and things like that. So I really like it for that reason. So if you do have a kindergartner and you are wanting a more interactive type thing, especially to take on road trips, or if you just need something to hold them over while you're working with another student, this is a great activity for them, especially doing handwriting practice. So highly recommend Mr. Pencil. It's super cute and really fun. Another really fun activity that she loves doing, especially in the summer months when I said those days are just way too hot to be outside, she has this really big basket of little wooden Melissa and Doug dress-up dolls. Fun little activity if you have little ones that like dressing up or like dressing little dollies up. They're little wooden figurines, and they're magnetic, like the actual dresses and outfits and hats and everything like that that come with them are magnetic. So she'll play with these for hours, and it comes with, I think the set that she had, I actually got it thrifted, has like 6 or 7 of like the actual little dolls that she likes dressing up. But highly recommend them. They're really fun. They're really cute, and she'll spend a lot of time playing with them. Another one of her current favorites, and my kids have always gone through little spurts of when they call these their favorites, but right now my kindergartner is really back into doing Wiki Sticks. If you're not familiar with Wiki Sticks, it's quite literally yarn dipped in wax, and I know a lot of people can make them. I've never had the time or to make them, so I've always just kind of bought them. But they're just like little moldable little pieces that you can mold into whatever you want and manipulate them into whatever you want them to be. But they'll do all kinds of things with them. She'll make little animals, she'll make shapes, she'll make numbers with them. They're just a lot of really fun. And if your kiddos need help, especially if they're needing help learning how to form letters and numbers and shapes like that, this is such a fun way to kind of just like mold the pieces into whatever you want them to be. You can do connect the dots with these. I know she loves using like the little connect the dot cards and then connecting the dots using these too. So it's just a really fun hands-on manipulative way, and it's great for those fine motor skills as well, especially in the little ears. But she loves these, highly recommend, especially also, I will mention as well, this is one of our favorite activities to take with us either to church or on our road trips when we need something a little bit more quiet, because as you can tell, they make literally no noise at all. But they have a ton of fun with them. It's almost like they're drawing only with sticky yarn, but it's a ton of fun. They're very highly recommend. My kindergartner right now is loving the box A set from The Good and the Beautiful. This was actually my son's back when he did the language arts kindergarten from The Good and the Beautiful. I love this set because it is so simple and basic, and the illustrations are really pretty. I have shared these quite a few times, and they have made their appearance in quite a few of my favorites videos, but they're very simple. And she's at the grade now in kindergarten where she can actually sound out the words and actually feel like she's reading, so she loves opening these up, and she thinks she's very big when she's reading to her little sister. So I highly recommend these. They're very similar level to the Bob books, if you're familiar with those. So if your kiddos do like that format and style, I definitely recommend picking these up. They're beautiful. They're very well done, and they're nature inspired, which is also a win. So another one of my kindergartner's all-time favorite books that she loves having it read aloud to her, and this is actually one I picked up thrifting, I believe, probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that. But that is the Duck Commander Happy Stories for Kids. I love this. Each lesson and each actual story is actually very simple and very short. However, it's the application at the end of every story that I absolutely love, and she does too. So for example, you're gonna go through like your first actual chapter of the story. As you can tell, it's not very long. That's pretty much as long as it gets. So it's a story about a little boy who goes to a sleepover, and he forgets all the important things. So he forgets his toothbrush and he forgets his pajamas, but he does remember his things like the football and blanket and things like that. But my favorite part is the actual application part at the end of every little story. As you saw, the story was not very long, but it hits home with the kiddos. At least it does with my kindergartner and first grader. This is actually probably going to end up in my first grader's favorite video as well. But the theme based on that first little chapter of the storybook is from Luke 12:35-36, where it is talking about to be dressed and ready for service and keep your lamps burning, so that when he does come and knock on the door, you will be ready. So it's kind of like that mix between really fun story yet devotional as well. And then you have a section that says, let's talk about it. So you ask different questions. They're able to recite back to you kind of things they've learned throughout the story. And then you have the part where it's like the action part, where things that you can do to be ready for whatever life circumstances may bring you. You can stop, you can look, and then you can listen. You can work on being prepared by using this method, that type of thing. But I love it because the stories are so simple, and they're also really funny and just really well written. But it's the application at the end that I love, because it takes a story and suddenly creates this super valuable point with the story. So highly recommend if you're looking for that bedtime story / devotional. The last few things I wanted to share with you. One is actually very surprisingly, but I have to do a huge shout out to CLE, specifically their kindergarten too. I love this. And I put this in her video because this afternoon we were actually going about, we were doing our outdoor stuff this morning before it got too hot. And she actually came inside and went to the bookshelf, grabbed her little booklets out. And she just wants to do these all of the time. And it doesn't even matter, we're not doing school. It doesn't have to be school time or school related. She still wants to do these just for fun. And I figured, you know, if there is a workbook or any type of schooly thing where the kiddos are like actually asking to do it, then I'm like, oh, okay, that's amazing. So what parent doesn't want that, right? So I had to share these because they are just really fun and simple. But also at the same time, I know a lot of this stuff in here she can do by herself at this point. She's finishing up the 4th one. And it's very self-explanatory at this point because the first 3 units she had my help and guidance on. So she's now able to grab it off the shelf and sit down, already knows what to do. Because as I mentioned before, I did a full flip through review on this. If you do want to go check that out, I'll have a link down below for you. But one of the things I mentioned about this is it's not repetitive to the point where they're doing the same thing day in and day out, but they are doing the same thing, only done differently, if that makes sense. So she knows what to do already by just opening the page and like, oh, this looks familiar. And so she'll always ask me like, hey, is this what you do? And I'm like, yes, it is. But a lot of it is just really fun, simple activities. She actually loves doing these types of things where she takes the little sounds and finds the ending sounds or beginning sounds and fills it in. But she loves this book. She really, really does. She's enjoying it. She loves the whole series. She's almost done with it. Then we're going to be moving on to the beginning to read or learning to read series from CLE before we hit that first grade level. But I just had to share it because she really is thoroughly enjoying it and definitely considers this one of her favorite things to do. So the last book related thing is, I say book, it's actually a set of 5. There are more in this series, but the 5 that I own are amazing. If you have a little girl who loves everything princess and girly, I highly recommend these. These are the Princess Parables. There are these ones right here. I've had these for, oh my goodness, I want to say almost 2 years now, which is crazy. Yeah, we've had these for almost 2 years. I purchased these at a homeschooling convention. The author was there speaking, and then she also had a booth, and so I was able to pick these up. Sweet, sweet family that writes these, so highly recommend that, especially if you're wanting to support a smaller family business, but also great, great books as well. But it is a princess parable story, and in our home, we don't do a ton of like the Disney princess thing. So finding things that are princess related but not necessarily Disney themed is so hard. Like, I was like, do things like that even exist? I don't know. So when I found these, I definitely picked up 5 of them. This is probably one of her favorites. It's Princess Charity's Courageous Heart, and again, it's talking about courage, being brave, and also talking about doing the right thing when no one is looking as well. But as you can tell, it's definitely princess themed. The illustrations are really, really sweet and beautiful. Very, very well done. And it goes throughout the story. And similar to the book that I just showed you with the application at the end, every end of each one of these stories has a very large application as well. It's going to have your parable thought. It's going to tell you Charity, kind of, well, her name is Princess Charity, kind of what the name means, what it stands for, and things like that. But then it goes into the actual devotional part. So this whole book and this whole story is based off of Luke 10:30-37, when it was talking about the Good Samaritan. So this whole theme is kind of based off of that, like helping those in need, but being courageous and brave while doing it and everything like that. Just another really fun twist to that really sweet story, but yet devotional as well. But that's Princess Charity's Courageous Hearts. And then she also loves Princess Grace and a Little Lost Kitten. Again, it's going to be the exact same format where you're going to go through the actual story, and at the end you're going to have your application. And then on this one, your application is based off of Matthew 18:12-14. Suppose a man owns 100 sheep and one of them wanders away. Won't he leave the 99 sheep on the hill? Won't he go and look for the one that wandered off? So this whole theme behind this story is based off of that parable. So I love that one. And then the third one is Princess Joy's Birthday Blessing. This is another one of her favorites. Again, the exact same format. I think out of all 5 of them, her favorite is Princess Hope and the Hidden Treasure. And this is the whole not storing up your treasures here on earth, but in heaven. And again, very, very well done. And then the last one that we did pick up in this series was more of a special one. It wasn't necessarily part of their core series. And that is A Royal Christmas to Remember. Since she loves Christmas stories, so we have this one. And this is a fantastic, fantastic one as well. I believe the parable this one is based off of is in Luke 12:15-21. It said, then Jesus said to them, watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. And this story goes into how on Christmas night, their castle and everything gets robbed, and they're having to learn that very important lesson of it is not all about possessions and things like that. But really, really sweet story, and I like how all of the girls in the story and all the sisters are very kind to one another, so it's very uplifting, I should say. There's not a lot of sass, which is also hard to find, when it comes to like princess stories, and they have a very sweet, endearing relationship with their father. So I really, really like this. Really, really like that series. But yeah, that's all the books and activities. The last and final thing I did want to mention, and this is not something honestly you can even get at any big retailer or box store, but I did want to share it because it's so cute and my kindergartner doesn't go anywhere without it. But this is her little rabbit. It's so, so cute. The name is Boing Boing, so she calls the little rabbit Boing Boing, and it goes with her everywhere. It goes to bed with her, it like goes into her little backpack with her, it goes to work with her, it goes like everywhere, it goes with her. And I wanted to share this because a lot of the times we as parents, especially I, can forget that sometimes their most favorite treasure, so to speak, and toy is something so simple, yet something so sweet and precious. And this is something that I'm sure you can get on Etsy. We had a very dear, dear, sweet friend of ours make this for her. And she just cherishes this. And one of the things that I love about getting things, especially from friends and family that actually make things, is because they look at it and they not only think of like, oh, it's your favorite toy, but they're reminded of that person in their life every time she plays with it. And I love that aspect of it. I think they're so cute. And so if you are looking for any like handmade or local little toy, it's very, very well made. You can look on Etsy, check your local marketplace, see if there's someone local that you can support. Especially now, supporting local is really, really important. But I just thought it was so cute and I had to share because sometimes the most simple things are our kiddos' favorites, and sometimes I forget about that as a parent, but I had to share that because it's adorable. Anyway, that is, I believe, everything that is on my kindergartner's favorites. She kind of walked around with me as she picked out some of her favorite summer activities and things that she just thoroughly enjoys doing. So that was really fun to kind of get her actual true perspective on what she loves doing. And I feel like every time we make one of these videos, it has been a while since I've made one, I learned more and more about them, even though I was like, yes, these are definitely her favorites. It was just fun to have that reiterated. It's like, yes, okay. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video and you got some new ideas if you do have a kindergartner, little girl in your life that you're looking for, maybe getting something for them as a gift or something fun to do in the summer. I'm going to be sharing in my next video my first graders' favorites. The only thing that will probably be the same in that video will probably be the Duck Commander book and maybe Tumble Tree. But everything else will be very, very different because he has a lot of interesting favorites, but I love that because they're both unique and I love seeing all their favorite treasures and things like that. But again, thank you guys for watching and for being here, and until my next video, you guys have a great one and God bless. Bye.